Right. And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here, and as the Kakamon said in Digimon, sorry I'm late, guys. So we're here, like I say, and to say we're just kind of late getting home. Sometimes that happens. And just a heads up, I will, and I like I say, just like we're doing a live today, we're also going to be back here tomorrow, Sunday night, just like I said in the weekly update. Um, it might, I will try to be at the usual live stream time, which is usually around 8 o'clock or 8:30. But be aware, it is possible that and this is the reason why I might be running. If I'm running a little late, I will. Just like I said in this one, I will make it known. Basically, because tomorrow, after we get out of church and everything, um, got to my mom. She just finished proofreading the Bubblina draft and everything for the first Bubblina novel. So me and wifey, after church is out, go over there and to say get that taken care of there, proofs from and everything. Go what she got to go over. So that's what I'm saying, Joe. I don't know how long it's going to take. So, like I say, I might be able. I should. Hopefully, I'm able to get here on time. But if I'm running late, I will let you know. Yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, I'll let you guys know when I get to when we get to the house from the proofing yeah. Look like this should do it here. Just trying to figure out the perfect place to set the light. Okay, I didn't want it shining directly in my face there. So yeah, there we go. So, okay. All right. So got the link there. All right. So let's go and dive into the mysterious adventures of reality and imagination. This is the first book of it. A weird yet normal day. That title is due to the fact that this is actually based off of anyone who hasn't seen it yet. It is on the channel. It's a song. It's a rap that kind of a rap. I guess you could say a spoken word sort of rap there that I had made up myself, and it's on the channel. Matter of fact, this is right here. Yep, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. So, yeah, it's based off of that. Yeah, definitely check it out. Pretty one of the I think the second video I uploaded on the channel, uh, and after making it, I made this book from that rap. So, yeah, you see, got the character zone here that's going to be featured in the book. Got my, got my Big Papa, Granny, and then you got this character called Uncle T, Tyrone. There is and then you got Johnson Douglas here. Full name Johnson Gabriel Douglas. Ironic, and yeah, over here this is his uncle Tyrone here. Then over here you got Sakura and Zayden there. So, and this is the summary of it that we're about to get into. It was a, it was supposed to be a normal day of our new hero Gabe just hanging out with his granny and Big Papa while using his imagination to create some fun adventures. However, little did he know that an evil boss from a virtual game that he and his friends defeated would not only seek revenge, but also become real. Now, this normal day is filled with weird, unusual things happening that could possibly destroy the world. Will Gabe and his family and friends be able to save the day? Find out in this exciting story. Almost kind of the way I read that almost kind of remind me of the narrator when they I think he advertised card captors, but I know he also advertised when Yu-Gi-Oh first came out. Yeah, you go. It was supposed to be a game. Yeah. So we got some pictures right here on the back here. Um, as you can see, I sort of, I sort of, yeah. See this, and this is when I first, um, I was still using CreateSpace back then, which is now Amazon Kindle. But this is where I actually they had it where you could actually just put your own cover in, which they actually and they still do have that. Um, Only thing is, this is when I first started using that feature of and just literally put my own cover together and saved it as a PDF there, and yeah, went with it. But the only reason that I hadn't been doing that on my other books and just using the cover creator because of my okay of my not because of the fact I don't have the Photoshop to come up with pictures like this. And before you ask, well, why don't you just color pencil some more pictures there like you did over here? Because I got colored pencils, but not. Yeah, but see, this is when I had like a whole like several different shades and stuff, like not just the basic school pencils. There had like all these different fancy colors and stuff like that to give the characters different shades and stuff there. So yeah, especially like my like different skin tones and stuff there. So yeah, I guess yeah, some of these pictures you'll see in the book. I'll show it again when we get to it there. Yeah. So, all right. All right. So let's dive right into this here. Say it's the work of fiction, and I notice that let's see in this one I did not. Let's see. Hold on a second. Don't look like because I know usually in the Heroes of Dream books I usually put like proofed and edited by and yada yada yada. But I noticed I didn't do that in here. Now I think let's see. I'm just checking something out here in my second book. We'll get to that tomorrow. But I was just checking something out. No, I sure didn't. Hmm. Hmm. So I'm not. So I think I guess it's just in the Heroes of Dream books. Kind of odd here, but now I know in my other books I kind of just go straight to the point there. Like straight to the point and everything, because because that thanks page at the end instantly says special thanks to Jesus Christ for his and his Father Jehovah God for everything that make these books. Uh, and I think also included in that was my family and friends, of course. So yeah. So all right, let's go on into this here. Let's see. Introduction to the new of this new series here. The Mysterious Adventures of Reality and Imagination is a redo of King Gabe's World series. Yeah, that was another. So this, yeah, there is a version of this story that was under King Gabe's World. So this is a read. This is a redo of it in order to exist in the same universe as the Heroes of Dream series. There. However, the events of when this series began 10 years before the events of Heroes of Dream occurred. So almost like like we're getting a Captain Marvel kind of thing going here. An earlier group of children with extremely active imagination began to not only create adventures of their own, but experience some unexpected adventures in the real world than before the Yumiko series. While these adventures are exciting and thrilling, they are also dangerous and sometimes unexplained. But regardless, excuse me, these kids are going to take them head on with a little help from others as well. Before you read their opening adventure, let's introduce you. First, there's Johnson Gabriel Douglas. Some people just call him Gabe. I wonder why. He's an 11-year-old boy uh, going into the sixth grade at Falcon Wing Middle and High School. That's his picture right there. With two of his friends, Sakura Chu and Zayden Walker. Most people call him Zay, and they're in the same age and grade level as he. The trio is often accompanied by Gabe's 15-year-old 10th grader Uncle Tyrone Douglas. Most people call him Ty, who attends Falcon Wings Middle and High School, obviously the high school division. Now let's begin this adventure, shall we? And yeah, if you really stop and think about it, now it is logical that you some because every family is different as far as like the relatives and all that, and the offspring and everything. So it's possible you could say that there's a well, or just in general that you could end up having an uncle that's almost kind of close to you in age there. I mean, it's possible that that has happened somewhere in reality. But in high, but in my perspective, looking back at this, I may should have just made them cousins or something. But ah, and that's them right there. Uh, Uncle Tyrone, Zayden, and of course over there is next to him is Sakura there. And now we're about to enter the first chapter. And the first chapter is about to go into this virtual game that they're about to play. Chapter 1, the evening before. The, eve- the evening before this wacky day, Tai, Sakura, and Zay came over to Gabe's house to play a virtual reality game with him called Magic Journey. Once they were all uploaded into the game, they had to choose their weapons and who would take the role as leader. Ty was the leader of the group, wielding a very sharp sword. Gabe was second in command with a sharp sword as well. And just a little fun fact: this game that they're playing is actually sort of a little. It's actually sort of a their own pretty much their version of Final Fantasy. So, yeah, just imagine if Final Fantasy was a video game. Sakura had bow and arrows, and Zay refused to take a weapon because he felt that his fists were all he needed. And the group had magical powers such as fire, ice, thunder, and healing. Yeah, pretty much like Final Fantasy. And then in the weapon choice, there were. I remember I played. I think it was Final Fantasy VIII that I played on a PlayStation demo disc I got from Pizza Hut, and I remember there were four characters on there. I think Zephyr was the one. I think that Ty's supposed to be kind of dressed similar to with a sword. And actually, in the game, Zephyr has somewhat of a. You know how the Power Rangers they have those blade blasters, like blade blasters up, where they can be swords and then also blasters. Yeah, he sort of had something like that going on with his sword, and I think in not Zell, but Squall, one with the black jacket. Yeah, it was just a sword with him. And Rhonda, the female that was in the group, she had I think actually she had a crossbow, I think, and the and Zell, Zell, yes, he basically would just run up and punch his opponents there. So yeah, that's kind of a play on that. The plot of the game was a magical war going on between the Magiroid army and the Z Shadows. Tai, Gabe, Sakura, and Zay arrived by ship in North City to find the tower where the leader of the Z Shadows were. And yep, you got Zay and Sakura there. Yep, in their game attire. And the Majirun soldier, and of course you probably can guess who the Z Shadow is next to him. Yeah. So yeah, pretty sure it's pretty obvious who is who. Uncle Ty started. Yeah, it's Commander Ty here. Oh, my bad. Commander Ty started Gabe again. What's our first plan of attack on the Z Shadow leader? Like, yeah, cause I'm ready to kick some Z Shadow tails, exclaims Zay. Yours would be the first one to get kicked for not choosing a weapon. Like, what, says Sakura. Okay, I was just checking something here. Okay. Like, would not, says Zay. Would too, says Sakura. Oh boy, not this again. They would not, would do, would not, would. Tai and Gabe groaned as Zay and Sakura went back and forth with each other. Then eventually Zay tried to switch it around. Would too, hoping that Sakura would say would not. You just admitted it. You get your tail kicked, sang Sakura. If you guys are done, I would like to discuss our plan of attack, said Tai. Yeah. Like, oh boy. Mm. No, there's a lot. There's probably a lot more pictures in this book here. Okay. Ty took so everyone gathered around Ty as he took out a map and explained. Okay, as tempting as it would be to take on all the Z Shadows army, we have to focus on the mission. According to the map, we should only be a couple hours away from the leader's tower by foot. So in order to save most of our strength for the leader, we should go through the areas marked in blue on this map. Those areas are less guarded and won't take much to defeat them. Sounds pretty lame, said Zay. Typical you would think with your fist instead of your head, said Sakura. Would you zip it, said Zay. Make me, said Sakura. Both of you, knock it off, demanded Gabe. She started it, said Zay. Say, well, end it so we can focus on finishing the Z Shadows leader, said Tai. Now let's go. On that note, the group went through the city defeating one or two Z Shadow soldiers at a time with their weapons and combat abilities. It wasn't long until word of their victories got out. Suddenly, they found themselves facing off against 100 Z Shadow soldiers. Whoa! What is this? What is this? What is this? The 100 Crybots that Kruger had to face in Power Rangers SPD and also Deca Ranger? That were much more armed than the previous ones before. It's magic time, said Tai. The soldiers charged at Tai and the others as Tai quickly placed his left hand on his forehead and began to concentrate. Dun, 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 dun. Definitely hearing that Final Fantasy music. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. A few seconds later, fire defense, and a wall of fire appeared blocking the Z Shadow soldiers. You'll have to do better. You'll have to do better than that, you Majorun bombings! Oh, hey, Yosemite Sam. Open up, you bombings! Open up, I say, open up! And one of the Z Shadow soldiers, he held his hand toward the fire, which started to form dark energy around it. Shadow burner! He shouted as the dark energy quickly started forming a hole in the fire. My turn now, said Gabe. Oh, wait, I'll handle this, buddy, said Zay, jumping in front of Gabe. He balled up his hands into fists, held them in front of his face, and concentrated like Ty did. And a few seconds later, he shouted, Glacier Spear Smash! Yeah, he got the fire defense, and then they're trying to break through it there. But Zay is going to try to do his thing. Then a giant glacier-shaped spear, shaped like a spear, rapidly forming in midair over the Z soldiers. However, at the same time, the dark energy that had disintegrated all the fire and the Z soldier creating energy fired it in the form of a beam of black fire at Zay, and the impact knocked Zay back a couple of feet to the ground, severely burning his hands, causing him to lose concentration, making the glacier fly toward Gabe. Gabe drew his sword and held it to the sky and concentrated, causing storm clouds to appear in the sky. Blades of lightning! After that, lightning bolts fired out of the clouds, and Gabe's sword absorbed them. Then, at the last minute, he jumped up with his sword and slashed the glacier into little pieces on the ground, and quickly swung the sword again, firing lightning bolts at the Z soldiers, shocking them. And that's what happened to Zay for rushing in. So Gabe gotta quickly think of something here with the lightning on the glacier. Quickly shocking 20 of them in one swing. Whoa. The shock soldiers collapsed and vanished. Gabe swung his sword and did the same to 30 more soldiers. Oh. Hey, quit hogging all the fun, Gabe, said Sakura, pulling out her bow and arrow. She aimed it at the remaining Z soldiers that were starting to flee from the area, but Tai stopped them with another firewall. As Sakura concentrated, the pieces of ice rose from the ground and formed into ice arrows. After that, she shouted, "Blizzard archery shower!" Soon as she fired her arrow from her bow, the ice arrows lunged with it. The arrow The arrows hit all the remaining Z soldiers, turning them into frozen statues, and shortly after that, they all vanished. Boom. Now that's a victory, said Tai. As you can see here, say the shocking, isn't it? There's Sakura with her attack there. Dun, 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 dun. And they were frozen today. Gabe landed back on the ground in front of Tai and said, "Got that right." And Gabe and Tai high-fived each other. Sakura walked to Zay, who was getting back up, blowing his hands to soothe the burn. So Zay, I saw something wrong on me for a second. So Zay, I guess we were right about Zay. I guess we were both right about you being the first to get your tail kicked, she said. He just got lucky, said Zay, trying to act tough. Trust me, next time I'm going to show him a thing or two. Zay tried to show off some more fight moves, but when he his punches made the burn. His punches the burn made him groan in pain. Sakura concentrated her hands to glow light blue, and she grabbed Zay's fist. Winter healing. Then Zay's hands turned light blue like Sakura, but with icicles forming on him. He jerked his hands back in pain, screaming from the frost. A few seconds later, Zay's hands went back to normal, and the ice melted. "You're welcome," said Sakura. Yeah. Saying then, of course, she was able to cool off Zay's hands there. A little icy at first, but oh, my hands. Now, now the way I drew him looking at his hands almost makes me think of Draken from the first Kim Possible movie, Stitch in Time, when Duff Killer goes like, "Look at those wee little digits." Looked at his little hands. Yeah, sure, said Zay, a little embarrassed. Excuse me. All right, let's. All right, team. We better continue moving. We better continue moving before more Z Shadow soldiers come," said Ty. Then the city began to warp like crazy, causing a giant portal to form, and sent everyone to the center of Nora City at a clock tower nearby, an extremely huge fountain. Every say pouring out water that could actually hide an entire army behind it. Everyone got up, recovering from the dizziness they encountered in the portal. "Where are we?" asked Gabe. Ty checked the map. "Looks like our victory sent us to the city, to the center of the city. We should be a 10-minute walk away from the leader's tower." "Then let's go show that leader who the real boss is." "Charge!" shouted Zay. Zay ran into the streets. The others tried to stop him, but it was too late. He had already ran smack in the five Z Shadow soldiers. Two of the soldiers picked up Zay and threw him into the fountain. They, excuse me again. They threw into the fountain. They spotted Ty, Gabe, and Sakura, snapped their fingers, and made 50 more soldiers surround them from each side. Suddenly, a roar echoed through the city. Everyone looked around, and seconds later, they saw a tidal wave coming. It washed away the soldiers and sent Gabe, Ty, and Sakura into the woods outside the tower of the Z Shadow soldiers. And then a blue sea dragon appeared over them, and they looked up at him, posed for battle. "Stand down, mighty warrior," said the dragon. "I am here to assist you in your battle against the Z Shadow leader. My name is Tyragon." And this. Oh, "Thank you, Tyragon," said Ty. "Have you seen our comrade Zay?" "He was captured by the Z Shadow soldiers at the fountain," said Tyragon. "My tidal wave did not save him in time, but I sense he's in the tower." "Great. Now we gotta go free him and defeat our leader," said Sakura. "Can't believe this." Then Tyragon turned into a bracelet and attached to Sakura's arm. After that, after that, he said, "I can guide you. I can guide you to my comrade. I can guide you to your comrade." The clock tower and the fountain here, and excuse me, the oh, and of course the dragon Tyrodon now. Ooh. But since he's not in our way, let's defeat the leader first, then get him, and then get him, then get him," said Sakura. "You have to rescue him before reaching the leader," said Tyrodon. The fact the four of you must master your teamwork together in order to use my power against the leader." "There's no way I'm going to work with that klutz," said Sakura. If you want to complete our quest, then we'll have to," said Ty. "Yeah, he may be quick to attack without a proper strategy, but he'll come through in the end," said Gabe. "Oh, look like got some likes in here. Somebody's here. What's up? What's up? What's up? EJ the Supreme is in the house. Yeah, what's up? What's up? You just in time. We about to get to the big boss Shay Rio here." Hey, so the team he may be quick to attack without a proper strategy, but he'll come through in the end," said Gabe. Sakura groaned and kicked a small rock nearby. "Fine, but if he messes up, I'm gonna kick him and the leader's tail." With that said, the team went through the woods, and once they arrived, the entrance doors were blasted open from the inside with fire. 10 Z Shadow soldiers came flying out and collapsed on the ground. Then they stepped out as the soldiers vanished. This was actually a reference. Now, a lot, just like I said, it's a reference to Final Fantasy. Yeah, pretty much a lot of the gameplay is being played out here, but of course in my own way there. Mostly Final Fantasy 8 there. What? I thought you were captured, said Sakura. I was, said Zay, but that fountain I fell in before my capture had a secret escape device. I learned that from the cheat codes for the game online. Nice one, buddy, said Gabe. Is there any more soldiers in there, said Ty. It's all clear, said Zay. All we have to do is go straight down the hall to the elevator, and the leader is on the top floor. Great, and let's move, said Ty. Everyone went down the hall into the elevator. As they went up, as they as they went up, Zay bragged to Sakura, "Didn't I tell you I would show them a thing or two for that lucky shot? Who's tough now? Who's tough now, Miss Chew? Miss Chew Chew." Sakura smacked Zay on the head, said, "Put a sock in it. And I warned you about calling me that. Don't get so boastful over your little shortcut. That's the only way of that's your only way of winning any video game. I doubt you have any cheat codes to use on the leader." And that thing of her saying, "Don't call me Choo Choo." Yes, it's kind of like Emily. Don't call me a kitty cat. Like it. I might, but for you, I'll show my true skill on the leader, says Zay. We should all focus our true we should all focus our true skills and teamwork to properly use Tyragon's power, said Ty. So stop the bickering and let's work together. Sakura and Zay took a long, serious stare at each other. Eventually, they shook hands and said together, "Okay." At that moment, the elevator arrived on the roof of the tower. Everyone exited the elevator and was soon face to face with the Z Shadow leader himself. There he is. Shay Rio, that's in his human form, though. Hmm. Prepare to meet your doom, you spying Majiran scum, said the leader. Then he changed into a monster with purple skin, a long woodpecker beak that was loaded with sharp teeth. Oh boy. But bat wings, goat horns, red eyes, two long arms with big hands tipped with huge orange claws, and at the end of his body was a giant yellow bee and adamant and stinger. You can call me Shay Rio. And that's what his true form looks like there. It's fight time, said Ty. Excuse me. Everyone went into battle against Shay Rio using both of their weapons and combat techniques combined with the magical abilities. However, Shay Rio was not easy to take down. Eventually, he opened his beak to fire his most devastating attack. Cyclone Oblivion! He shouted as a white tornado came out of his mouth at the group, sending him into the sky. Sakura concentrated as best as she could, aiming her bow and arrow toward the center of the tornado. Storm clouds formed over everyone as Sakura shouted, "Lightning arrow!" And as you can see, it's the Cyclone Oblivion, and Sakura's about to try to fire an arrow right into his mouth. And you notice, even for colored pencils, how realistic that picture looks there, especially the arrow coming at you. Huh. Just imagine if she had Yondu's arrow. Watch out, here come my arrow, it flies super fast. Watch out, here come my arrow. Once she fired her arrow down the twister, both of them went down the twister with it, and both the arrow and lightning went into Shabrio's mouth, choking him, shocking and choking him. The twister ceased, and parachutes appeared. Gabe, Ty, and Zay each got one and attached them, but Sakura fainted and started falling towards Rio. Sakura! Shouted everyone else. I'll get us, said Zay. Without thinking, he quickly took off his chute and skydived after Sakura. Gabe and Ty started to assist Zay, but Rio hacked up a surge of lightning, which caused the two to hit the ground. Zay and Sakura, but Zay caught Sakura and fired a rope around Rio's beak. When he swung, he swung to the ground by Gabe, Ty, and laid Sakura down beside them. Yeah, and you got. No, he tried to fire an arrow into his mouth there. Bzz. Yeah, it looked like he did a shocking backfire. And of course, they was a little daydream. Yeah. I mean, not that daydream, but him rescuing Sakura. Sorry. Yeah. After that, he made 3 cards appear labeled Unicorn Revival. In a flash of light, the fallen teammates rose up full of energy. Say, are you guys all right? Asked Zay. Well, we are now, said Ty. Thanks, buddy, said Gabe. Sakura paused and blushed a little. Thank you, Zay. You're welcome, and don't worry, said Zay. The Unicorn Revival cards are part of this game. Are part of this game. No cheat code required. Unicorn Revival. Yep. Then of course this is what Unicorn Revival looks like here. These cards that he used to revive his friends with. And then a picture of everybody reaching out to that to a special bracelet they have there. You guys all right, Agazay? Me. We are now, said Ty. Thanks, buddy. Sakura blushed a little. Thank you, Zay. You're welcome, and don't worry. The Unicorn Revival cards are part of the game. No cheat code required. But all of you will pay, shouted Rio. It's time to end this. As Rio began to charge up for his Cyclone Oblivion attack, Gabe, Ty, and Zayden placed their hands on the bracelet on Sakura's arm, concentrated until Tyragon appeared. Finally, with one wave, Rio was reverted back to his human form and vanished. Victory music played for everyone as they jumped for joy. As they jumped for joy, and then they logged out, returned to Gabe's house. Ty, Sakura, and Zay went back into their houses, back into their homes, while Gabe got ready for the next day. However, unknown to him, the Z-Child soldiers vowed revenge on him and his friends, and he would, and the next, it would make the next day a weird yet normal day for them. Roll credits. Okay, it's probably the longest chapter I think I've ever in a book so far, at least from these here. Yeah, so I know we only read one chapter, but it was a long one. So I'm gonna stop right here. Like I said, I was planning to get through the whole book, but yeah, apparently my body is saying otherwise. Because I guess, like I said, that's why I say hopefully I can get in a little earlier than what I did tonight. Um, to I guess just pretty much finish that book there. So, like what you, yeah, yeah, it was a pretty big story just in that first chapter there. So, if you like what you heard, and everything, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Uh, Definitely get our available books and support us on Patreon. Just like say your boy EJ the Supreme. Big is a oh that's right. Oh yeah. Boy, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm able to cut so I can get some rest here. Okay, but yeah, like, share, subscribe, get our available books, and support us on Patreon, just like Ice Bay Universe, who is a yet also show him some love. Definitely see his full length reactions to Spy Family, Naruto, One Piece, Courage, Hey Arnold, uh, and Nettie, of course, there, and also definitely just like you hang out with us here and oh yeah, support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, Big Sis Case, Queen Tina, of course, EJ the Supreme, and there's the Supreme, and also definitely support us on that Patreon. Yep, support us on the Patreon today, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care, everybody, and I'm gonna go get some sleep.